Hey guys, it's me again. I am going to do two readings in a row, um, just because I really wanted to do this reading for months now, and I really just haven't had the time. So I'm going to be doing a reading on Lil Peep, and I'm actually kind of terrified to do this reading. Um, Lil Peep is like one of my favorite rappers. Um, I really relate to him. If you guys don't know who he was 21 years old when he died. He was a rapper. He got famous off SoundCloud, I believe. You guys can Google him. So I'm saying that I'm a little afraid to do this reading because when he passed away, I did see he had a possession. Um, there was a very weird pansexual male that attached himself to Lil Peep. And I feel like um, this person was just like some type of astral entity that somehow got a hold of Lil Peep, and we see this stuff kind of happen often when people are on drugs. So I don't think it was like anybody in particular, but Lil Peep's aura was kind of like, weak because of the drugs and, depression. It makes you go down to a very low vibration, and there you go. That's kind of how it happened. Um, I'm gonna start. Yeah, I guess I'll start where I don't really think I'm gonna see any past lives in this reading, just because Lil Peep's origins aren't actually from this planet. Um, let me just give me 1 second, guys. I really don't want to bring negativity, so I'm really just gonna keep it as there was a spirit attached to him. Um, I don't feel like anybody put witchcraft on him or anything like that. I just feel like he was at a very low point in his life where he was an open vessel, and unfortunately, this stuff does happen, and it's very scary. But well, we're gonna try and keep this channel as positive as possible. Okay. Alright, as soon as I'm tuning into Lil Peep, and this is gonna be a little different just because, oh my gosh, just because this is a person that has passed on, I'm hearing the words he was there, meaning that the person that really attacked him was was the reason that he passed on. Um, Something happened, and the person that was really on him, the possession, had really caused him to pass on and to overdose. I really don't want to. I don't want to say please stop, but all right, he's expressing a lot of love to me. Okay, he's really wanted to transcribe this message for a long time. I feel like Lil Peep was very confused and kind of his heart. He had such a big heart. He really couldn't handle the way that this planet functioned. Remember, and I just spoke in my last video about Leonardo DiCaprio being from Atlantis. Um, Kind of opposite reasons with these two people, obviously. Lil Peep was very loving. He had a huge, huge heart, and his origins were from another civilization. I don't really know much about starseeds just because I don't really identify as that. I don't have any visions or anything about their lives, honestly. Um, but I do see that he was like, he was used to, like, soul wise, he was used to love being expressed in a different way, um, caring about somebody being expressed in a different way. Whereas when he got to this planet and saw how people were treating him, and what love, the idea of love really was, he really didn't understand it, and he didn't really like. I feel like there was a part of him that would put up his defenses, but honestly, his heart was like, what do they say it on their sleeve? Like when somebody's heart's on their sleeves? Yeah. Okay, I am feeling like, okay, I'm hearing the word trapped, trapped. hearing he trapped me, he trapped me. Okay. He's wanted to he's really wanted this message to be put across for a long time. Okay, he was trapped. So I don't really know much about possessions, and I try not to get into them just because I don't want to freak you guys out. But it's like two souls are kind of residing in one body from what he's showing me. Not all, but this one was. So he had part of his soul, but there was a part of him that really, had like an attachment on him. So I'm feeling that I'm seeing that he was trapped. Whatever this entity was really trapped him, and he really felt like he wasn't, in the same body as himself. It's really hard to do these readings when the person is either passed away or just on a celestial level where they can actually communicate with me through the readings. Yeah, this thing was really evil. He's showing me. Oh my god, why? I don't know why he wants to get this across. Okay, it seems like he's like he was asking for help, like he didn't know how to get help. So what I'm hearing, he didn't know how to get help, like what avenues to go down to get help. And okay, I'm feeling my throat. Okay. He felt like he couldn't talk, he couldn't speak about it. He felt like this was something that was going to be like this was something that was going to people were going to not really understand the words he had to say. Okay. I don't know if this is that he couldn't speak about it or he died because he felt like he was being trapped, held by his neck. I don't really know. I feel like he had an overdose, I think. Okay. Guys, I haven't done a reading like this in years. So, I'm a little bit worried. I want to find a good picture of him, but literally all the pictures that I'm seeing of him are very recent. Like, I just googled his name and the pictures are very recent and I see it on him and I really don't want to connect to the thing. I want to connect to him and, see if he really wants to get anything across. Okay, this is his mother. His mother's a witch. His mother's is a very, very old witch. I'm not saying that's good or bad, I'm just putting that out there. Yeah, he was very powerful. He really had the potential to do more in life, but this thing, I felt like this thing was this entity really came here to take him off that path and keep the world at a consciousness that was at such a lower vibration. That's really why this thing attacked Little Peep, because he saw how much power he had, how much influence he was going to have if he really continued to live. Little Peep really would have had a lot of influence on music, but not only music, but okay, I'm like really feeling it. He had a lot of words of wisdom that were really going to change the vibration for all the people that were following him, like who really loved him and like really looked up to him. He really could have offered the world a lot more wisdom and therefore brought up the collective consciousness. But I'm seeing that this thing, whatever, really attacked him for that purpose. So Lil Peep, like, he felt trapped. He really didn't know how to express like what was happening. He knew. I feel like he really knew. I feel like he knew that somebody was gonna kill him throughout. Like always, when people that come from another star system, it's not like us where we are born and we don't know what the fuck is going on. They kind of know, and even though like the deal is that when you come into this planet, you're wiped out of your memory. Just like psychics and everybody like who has the sixth sense, he like had an understanding of what was really going to go on, so he knew how to like carry that in his subconscious brain, and he knew is what I'm getting. I'm seeing he really knew. But whatever this thing is, it didn't put it didn't like kill him, but it really added on to why he died. It really was like a factor. It was an aid to why he died. He was part of the reason, is basically what I'm saying. Because, like we said, drugs weaken your aura. It's very easy to be susceptible to other entities once your aura is that weak. Okay. Why can't I find one good picture of this guy without anything on him? Yeah, unfortunately I'm still getting the same picture. I'm seeing he's asking for help. Okay, I do see he's crossed over. If he's not 100% crossed over, he's in between to cross over. Okay, he wants me to help him. I'm gonna. All right. Although he's passed on, I am seeing that he's carried a lot of these issues with him today. These are still things in his heart that he feels like are really unfinished. I'm gonna see if he wants me to translate anything about that, anything further. See, there was a lot of darkness around him, and it wasn't anything that really had to do with him, because him himself was very loving and just very kind and humble, like very humble about everything that he's accomplished, everything he's done. Like, I feel like he was the type of person that will do something for you but never ask you for anything in return. That was just kind of his vibe. Um, he did struggle. I feel like he struggled a lot. I keep hearing "help me." I don't know if this is a message for me or for just him trying to say he needed help in his life. And he didn't really feel like the way other people were expressing love to him was quite, the way he would feel love was. I'm seeing there was 3 women that he really loved. Because I'm seeing heart, and then I see 3 strings to 3 different women. I feel like to these women, he was there, like, he kind of, that they kind of somehow, like, needed his energy, and he was fine giving it to them. Like, he definitely, was okay if these people were kind of, like, dependent on him, like, even if it was just emotionally, like, that's kind of normal in relationships and friendships. But he knew that, like, 3 women really loved him, and, I feel like from that, um, he felt like he needed to be here. I feel like if he didn't have these 3 women, he would have actually committed suicide because he wouldn't feel like there was any use at all for his life. These women were really important to him, but I'm not really seeing who they are. I'm just seeing 3 like little strings of light going to 3 different places. I'm hearing Bella, Bella, Bella. Um, I think Bella Thorne was his ex-girlfriend. I'm not sure if this is the person that he's referring to. I don't know his mom's name. Bella, okay, I'm seeing there's three and there's one light, and the center one is going to somebody named Bella. I'm gonna assume this is Bella Thorne. Let me see what else I'm getting. Okay, I'm seeing he really thinks that this person's very beautiful. He really looks up to this person. He really admires this person, Bella. But he feels like this person is kind of like, this person's kind of closed off, but I feel like he really idolized this person. But he doesn't really feel like this person really gave him that same type of, I don't know. This person really didn't look up to him the way he looked up to her, basically. I'm just seeing so much love here and such an advanced way, like so much emotional intelligence. Um, but he's definitely emphasizing on this. You know, this wasn't a suicide. This was, I was attacked, and this, I overdosed, but it happened whereas I died because I was attacked by something, and unfortunately, uh, whatever entity was on him really had control over him at this point. By the time he was dead, and whoever this thing was, whatever it was, really played a part in why he died, if that makes sense. Since he has passed on, I'm actually connecting to him, and he's not really showing me um, that much information. The main energy coming through is translating messages. It's not really like about him. But I am seeing that the whatever entity this was, it was a pansexual entity, and that's kind of where little Peep got all those, like, whatever, the idea of it. I feel like it wasn't really him. It was whatever that thing was. It was the entity that was forcing those ideas into his head. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing this person. He was a very strong man who really embraced femininity. I don't think Little People was a pansexual. I think this entity had a lot of influence over him, and yeah, I don't see him as gay or anything. Maybe bisexual, but I think it was more so the entity. See if I can get any last words from him. Drained, drain. He keeps hearing drain, drain, drain. He was very drained during the last 2 years. I'm hearing last 2 years of his life. He was very drained. I keep hearing. I see him on a couch with, like, I don't know. This looks like reading. I'm seeing him on a couch with drinking, like doing this. Um, yeah, I see him on a tour bus doing that. So I feel like he would. I don't know what I'm seeing is him drinking or is it a drug. I'm not exactly sure, but I do see that he was very drained in the way he was living. Like, he really didn't give a fuck anymore. Like, let me see what else. Yeah. Um, I'm hearing I lost control of myself. I lost control of myself. Okay, my MacBook froze. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of femininity, and I do think he was bisexual, but I don't think, I think it really heightened because of this entity taking over him. It was, at the last 2 years, I feel like it was more so not a reflection on himself, if that makes any sense. He really had a lot of like ideas that he wanted to give, but unfortunately, I feel energetically this planet was not ready for him. That's why he had to be taken out, and unfortunately, that stuff happens sometimes with celebrities, Kurt Cobain. But it's really unfortunate. He really had a lot to share, and I feel like he there. What's really coming up for me is that he left three women behind in his life, because I'm seeing three white lines, um, and he really regrets that. He really like holds on to that, and he feels like if there is a reason that he hasn't really 100% crossed over, it's because he feels like those three women really need him, and he's with them in spirit, trying to help them right now. And he doesn't feel like it's the right time for him to go because he feels like those three women, they really need him. So I hope I made this clear. I know I've never done a mediumship reading on here before, um, but yeah, that was pretty intense. Um, Please like, comment, and subscribe if you guys want your own reading. I don't actually offer mediumship readings anymore. If it happens, it happens, and I will translate the message, of course, but I don't purposely channel. Is that if I'm making any sense? But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe if you guys like your own reading. My Instagram will be below. Just DM me, and we'll talk. Okay, bye guys.